Hello, grade 7. It is time to start building our websites. We are going to put all of our information from our research record and maybe a bit more onto a site. You can see here I've made one for you all. I've added you as a collaborator, so hopefully you have got that into your email. If you haven't, you can just go to Google Sites and it will show up. I have made an example to show you using the 17th century style. It's sort of tongue-in-cheek, it's not 100% factual, but I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. This is going to be my first welcome page. You can see it's a bit hideous. At the moment, we are focusing on putting in the content. We're not worrying about the style, we're not worrying about the colours or anything like that. We're going to do that in class because I would like to show you some really cool things you can do to make it look fabulous. So this is the first page. I've put an image there and I've put my citation for the image. You can see the title underneath the image matches the title in the citation. Must do that so that if you have 20 images, I can immediately find that this image goes with this citation. Then I've put in a wonderful introduction. The 17th century was a fantastic era where men wore finely embroidered tights and pointy shoes. I need to change that. And women wore fancy ruffs and fanned themselves all day long. Many people wore decadent clothes and attended parties. The poor, however, wore rags and mostly smelled really bad. This was a time of theatre, trade, but also the plague, the Great Fire of London, and witchcraft. This is also a time of political upheaval and revolution. This website aims to teach you all about 17th century style, including what different people wore, how buildings looked, about popular games, and the style of books. So those are my four areas. So you should have buildings, fashion, and 2 areas, which might be video game, it might be music, something to do with design. So the way that you edit it is very much like Word or Google Doc. You click this pencil and you can change things here. So I obviously need to change that to pointy. In this bit, this square here, you can put in all your images and you can change the font. So maybe I'm going to change it to be Courier, or maybe actually Georgia works better for my project. I want to make it a bit bigger. That's fine, you can change that element of style, but I want you to leave the rest until we come back. So there you go. Also, you see how it has welcome here? For some reason, you can't change the location of that. It only changes here. So I'm going to show you a very cute and handy tip for changing that. So I'm actually going to put welcome here. You can make it in huge letters. And I might make it dark purple, bold and underlined, because that will be in the middle. To change and get rid of this bit, you can go along here and do page settings and untick that box. See how much better that will look? Okay, if you want to add a new page, you're going to click this button, which is a page with a plus symbol. So I wanted to do popular games in the style of books. So I'm going to click this one. I'm going to call this page games. And I'm going to create that. It shows up along the left-hand side. When we move on to changing the way our page looks, we can change this on the left-hand side, make it look different, make it along the top, make it along the right-hand side. We can change all sorts of things like the font here. We could have little bullet points before, stars, anything like that. But don't worry about that yet. I'm going to press save. We can also put a header along here so it looks prettier. I'm going to show you another area that I've developed slightly. So this is fashion. You can see I might want to change up things. Remember, we go to the cog here, then we go to page settings and we untick show page title, and that changes there. I want to keep it consistent. So this doesn't really look right, does it? This looks like the wrong font. So let me change that slightly. I'm going to change it to Georgia, which is what we were using on the other one. I'm going to save it. Have some really fancy titles for your page. Along here, try and have simple ones. So I know this area is about fashion, but then you can change your title on here. Again, this is the title of the image and the title of the image here, which link directly down here. I've also put my in-text citation. So I've said firstly, this fabulous gent wears a very popular 17th century fashions. He is wearing armour to show that he is a soldier. You can see a lot of gold embroidery on his clothes, which was very popular at the time and show that he is wealthy. And here, check out this incredibly, I'll change that, fashionable plague doctor outfit. The plague was a disease that killed hundreds of people. Britannica, 2014, says that it is caused by the bacterium Yersinia Pestis, plague, is an infectious disease that occurs mainly in rodents such as rats and squirrels. Here, the doctor wears an outfit which is meant to protect him from the plague. I put those symbols on doctor because he's not really a doctor. He's going to practice all sorts of weird things because plague was treated in very strange ways. These quotation marks here, the double quotation marks, mean that this is a direct quote from Britannica. We should know how to do this yet. Instead of just saying Britannica says, what I've also done is I put the date in the bracket. That's what you should be starting to do. So say you are doing a BBC article that was written 2 years ago, you'd write 2012. There's a few reasons for doing this. The viewer will say, oh, that's a really up-to-date article. Or you might have a point of view and you might have a slightly old text and you might say, this is sort of old, but I want to use it anyway. You have to put the date so people know. It also does help if you have loads of articles from Britannica or loads of articles from a newspaper. It helps people to separate them. Quite often stuff from Britannica is from 2014 because they update it so regularly. So a lot of your things will say Britannica 2014, but hopefully people will still make the connection between the content here and the article here. So you want to have a biography at the bottom of every page. You don't want to have a separate tab for biography. And what did I need to do? I need to edit, so I'm going to go up to that pencil. And incredibly. Okay, so again, we need to put in all our content. When we come back after the half term, we're going to make it beautiful. I'm going to show you the school library site that I've been working on to make it look a bit nicer. So look, I've got a special font in the end. I've made a banner to go at the top, which we will have plenty of time to do. I've even done things like I have added forms in. So later as we move on, we might want to put in a form so you can find out what people have learned about your era. You can also put in a poll so people can vote. You can have your 3 photographs of fashion and at the bottom have a poll which is your favourite and people can vote. But we are going to start doing that after the break, including changing fonts, changing the colour, changing the side. You can even have this part move to the top. We will have all that now. What I'm really looking for is the content. If you go to your site and you realise that actually in your buildings, you've not got much content, you've only got maybe 2 sentences, you probably need to find a little bit more information. Otherwise, just keep going, and I obviously have all of these available so I can see what work you're doing, and I will probably be finding you at the very beginning of half term, of our next half term, if there's no work on there, probably on Monday or Tuesday to remind you, maybe to get you to come to Home Ec Club, because we need to have all that information in there for our next lesson so that we can begin to start making it beautiful and start focusing on the design element. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'll check my email all the way through half term. And of course, you can come see me straight after the half term break if you need any further guidance. Thank you.